Did you know that even just a simple workout can supercharge your brain? Yes, it's true. Exercise is probably the most important thing that you can do for brain functioning, brain health, and just longevity as a whole. So today I'm going to be talking about how exercise influences and changes your brain and why you should care. So let's start with lactate release. Now I know that when you hear lactate, you think inflammation and soreness and stuff like that, but in this case, lactate is a great thing. Essentially, astrocytes release lactate into the brain, which then crosses the blood-brain barrier. Now this is great because your brain actually uses this lactate as fuel. So instead of using glucose, it can actually spare and save that glucose for different brain functioning things. And instead it will use lactate. So without this high intensity exercise, your brain would simply be using glucose as fuel, which in this case, lactate is a much better option. Now this is especially important for healthy brain aging and functioning. But the real benefit of this lactate release in the brain is that due to the increased lactate rate, BDNF is released. Now this is short for Brain-Derived Neurotrophic Factor. Now BDNF is coined by, I heard this from Dr. Rhonda Patrick, is the elixir of youth, of brain aging youth. BDNF is essentially a protein which promotes the growth and expansion of new neurons in the brain. Now this is specifically seen in the cerebellum, the cortex, the basal forebrain, and the hippocampus, which are brain regions specifically designated to learning, memory, and executive function thinking. So when this BDNF is released in the brain, this protein, which promotes the growth of new neurons and synapses, this is essentially promoting increased connectivity and increased growth in these specific brain regions. So this is keeping those brain regions sharp. It is keeping them fresh, and most importantly, it is causing the expansion and growth of them over time. For instance, this is essentially neurogenesis, which is the increase in growth of a certain brain region. Now, this is primarily seen in the hippocampus, at least that's what the research is showing, is that it is seen in the hippocampus. So the hippocampus actually grows new neurons, grows larger through frequent high-intensity exercise. All of this is kind of tied together because this is essentially neuroplasticity. And neuroplasticity is effectively your brain's ability to change over time. It is what allows young people to learn new skills and change who they are at will. It is a great tool of the nervous system in the brain as a whole. So whatever we can do to preserve and enhance neuroplasticity as we get into our later years, that is just immediately a benefit and something which I am looking to use over the course of my life. So I think that exercise is very valuable as a tool for neuroplasticity. And neuroplasticity in this case is mainly modulated by that BDNF release as well as IGF-1 release. Frequent exercise also just improves your mood by releasing neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which are just feel-good neurotransmitters that are essential to fighting off things like depression and anxiety. Alongside this, it also releases things like endorphins, which, are largely responsible for what we call the runner's high and why people get addicted to exercise and all sorts of things like that. Additionally, exercise inadvertently assists with brain function by aiding in things like sleep. So for instance, when you get a good night's sleep, everything is better, right? Well, exercise actually aids in that sleep response, helps you fall asleep quicker and deeper. It is also a natural stress reliever as well as a vascular enhancer and cognitive enhancer. So it promotes blood flow to the brain, which delivers nutrients there and just increases cognitive functioning as a whole. Okay, so those were the main takeaways from how exercise influences brain health. So I hope that you guys got something out of this, like I know that I did through my research. And I already knew that exercise was great for the brain, but now I am assured of it, and I will continue to be exercising to promote brain health as well as bodily health. You just can't go wrong with it, guys. So have a great day.